the SyFy Sistas live show.
Must be. We gonna keep on going. Yeah, girl.
You look like 3 SyFy sister bobblehead. Dog.
Right.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the SyFy Sistas live show on a Tuesday night. I'm Tamia Harper. I am joined, as always, by my sisters, Yvette Blackman-Tom.
Hello.
And Sabrina Wood.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. And what's always happening is it's gonna be a good show.
Oh, yeah. Always.
Yes, we are really excited to have our guest here with us this evening. They baked some really cool stuff that we think you guys, if you haven't already geeked out on their wares, we think you will.
Sorry.
She had to click.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, so if you haven't already geeked out on all of their stuff, that I think you will now. We're welcoming to the show Martin Roth, the CEO of CherryTree Computers. Hi, Martin.
Hi, Martin.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here, man.
Definitely.
You guys, CherryTree Computers kick a lot of ass, and so we're really excited that you're here.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us about the journey, like your journey into first of all, tell us exactly what CherryTree Computers is all about.
So I have to go a little bit back with this. As for myself, I'm an electrical engineer by trade, and I've been in the computer industry almost my whole life, with short interruptions here and there. To make it short, in 2016, I was watching First Contact, which is one of my favorite Star Trek movies, and actually my favorite.
Correct answer.
Movie. And for some reason, I see this gorgeous Borg cube flying over the screen, and my first thought was, I wonder if somebody ever stuck a computer in one of those things. Ooh. And I don't even know why I thought that. Yeah, and I looked at that, and I started Googling this, and all that research actually showed that nobody ever tried this on a commercial basis, basically. And I told a friend of mine who's very well connected in the industry, I told him about the idea to do this. And he pretty much told me, well, why don't you rig up a prototype if you think you can do it? And I get you in touch with the guys from CBS, and we see if they can do anything for you. So we rigged up a prototype. We called it back then our Borg Microcube. And we showed it to CBS, and they gave us our first license.
Wow!
Oh, nice. Man!
And one of the things that's important for us is this was kind of the thing why we tried this on a commercial basis. When you look at computers nowadays, they all kind of look the same. They vary a little bit in color. When it comes to gaming machines, some have glass, some have more glass than the other ones, some have LEDs, some don't have LEDs, but bottom line, it's all the same box. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter in what color comes in, it's all the same box. And I grew up during a time where you could call it the PC wars of the 80s, where companies competed who makes the coolest shit, you know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But this was how it was, Mm-hmm. And the machines looked different. And then at a certain point, it all started to become gray.
Yep.
From gray, it became black, you know, mm-hmm. And then...
Del gray.
Yeah. And we try to break the mold of that a little bit. You know, we want to create computers that people can have on their desk and have this feeling of oh my God, look at this.
Right.
Yep.
Just the entire
Exactly.
chat. I'd like to tell you that it's the entire chat.
Oh my goodness. Oh, so I want to tell you that the first time I saw your products, it wasn't even a computer that I fell in love with. It was a record player that I fell in love with. I was walking by your I think this was maybe my first time at STLV, which was quite a while ago. I'm walking by and I see this Borg box, and all of a sudden somebody pulls up the cover and it's a record player. And I'm like,
Oh
wait
my
a
God.
minute, what did I just looking at? And I was there for hours. I kept coming back. And then I saw the computers, but I could not get over the actual record player because I am not a PC person. You know, I go the other way. So I knew that there was nothing I could get over there. But when I saw that record player, I was like, oh my God. So I'm still saving up for that one.
If I was still married, I would have a present for my ex-husband. But wow.
You have me. I mean, I'm not your ex-husband, but I mean.
He's a vinyl collector and he was a Star Trek fan. It would have been like, I probably would have been still married.
Yeah.
No,
not at all. Let's not go there.
We just built another one.
Oh, I'll just keep the record player. Thank you very much.
You built a.
So the thing with the record player is the record player was never meant as a commercialized product. It was never meant like this. And it came about because the former vice president of consumer products of CBS, Veronica Hart, actually, she asked me if we can make an enterprise record player with, basically where you have the saucer section.
Right.
And you open half of the saucer section and you put, that was my idea. That's exactly how I reacted. I was like, oh my God, we have to do this. But the way we build specialties, we make all kind of crazy special things. Last year we made a cyber truck before things went crazy with him. We made a Cybertruck PC, and it's like almost 4 foot long. It's
wow.
It's glorious. It's completely made from stainless steel. It's really cool. It's really cool.
That is the best description.
Yeah.
He is so Austrian. I am like so getting on his accent. You remind me of my friend, even though he's German, but he'll kill me if I say, you're Austrian. But it's glorious. Keep going. Please talk some more. I am so enjoying this.
So the way we do this, we basically take the components that we want to build around, and we build a 3D model, and then we build the actual model around it to see how big it gets. And we had, for a different project, we had a record player lying around, and I measured it, imported it into AutoCAD, and we started scaling, and I was like, this needs to stop. This is getting way too big, way too big, way too big.
So excited, I can't type. People are on. I'm sorry, Martin, but people are on your website now, and they're losing their minds. This chat is losing their minds right now.
They left you a while ago, and they
just left and went to your website.
Yeah, we have some fun stuff on there.
Yeah.
But please continue.
I'm sorry.
So, basically, we scrapped that idea of the enterprise record player because it would be like a table. It would be really big. Okay. And but I had this record player lying, and I was looking at it, and right next to it was one of our Picard cubes that we were just building. And I take the measuring tape, and I'm like, wait, this is exactly the same measurement. And I'm like, guys, I have an idea. And I take the Picard cube, and I literally went like, it fit perfectly.
Man.
Oh, wow.
So, we started tinkering around how to split it in half and open it. And it turned out the whole hinge mechanism is a complete pain to build. It's a nightmare to build. So we built 5, 6, maybe 10 over the years. And every time I build one, I'm like, this is the last. I cannot do this anymore. This is so painful to make. Wow. And this year, for this year's convention, we have a lot of really crazy stuff that we bring. And after I was done with this gigantic warp core build,
wait, let's show this. Let's show this thing. Hold on. Let me see where I have it. Just talk amongst yourselves. Sorry.
After I was finished with that build, I was thinking to myself, I have to build another one. I have to build one more export. I have to build one more, and this is gonna be the last. But I'm pretty sure it's not gonna be the last.
All right, so here it is. This thing is amazing.
Okay, I just want to say this. Like, I literally could have sat there and watched that video all night long.
The first time I got it, I watched it at least 10 times.
I was just sitting over here like, oh my God.
Oh, I could just hear it was like, coolant leak. I'll be like, grabbing in his mind while everybody else runs. I'll be sending you all to the door.
Right.
I got it.
Right, Kelly.
Oh my God, that thing is gorgeous.
Now you talk about glorious.
Yeah,
that was glorious. I watched that thing at least 10 times. The first time I opened, I'm like,
the chat is gone. The chat is all gone.
Dave Gregory said he already put in his order. He said, I put in the order and just let the latinum spill out. Right, exactly.
Oh my God, it was so good. So good stuff.
So what's I can't wait to see what you have in Vegas.
That's going to be in Vegas, right?
Yeah, that one's going to be in Vegas. That one's going to be in Vegas. Then our Klingon build is going to be in Vegas. We had that one the last year as well.
Okay.
And this time we also have the Klingon keyboards there and Klingon mice. We have a full table that is just full of Klingon stuff. And we developed some of these things together with the guys from the Klingon Language Institute.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
And that was the most hilarious experience. I was in the game, and these guys start to argue. You know, when you have all the function buttons on the keyboard, like home and delete and page up, page down. These are all real Klingon words, Klingon phrases.
Oh my God.
They started arguing in that email chat, in that email chain, what's best to be on there, and it was so funny working with them.
Oh my God, that sounds so cool.
Yeah, that's a super nice one.
That is the best.
I just bought a new keyboard, but
I went on the website and I was like, wait, what? No. Oh my God. I was like, I don't need an extra large gaming platform. Mouse pad. I don't need an extra large gaming mouse pad, but I want the DS9 extra large gaming mouse pad.
I'm sitting here now.
There are no
actual Defiant blueprints.
So there's actually a very interesting thing about these mouse pads. When we had them the last time at the convention in Las Vegas, we had people buying 3, 4, or even 5 mouse pads. Yeah. And there's this super large guy coming, super tall, and almost menacing looking dude, and he has 2 mouse pads in his hand, and he puts them down and he's like, I want those 2. And one is a Klingon mouse pad and the other one is Lower Decks with the characters. Yeah, with all the characters. And I look at him and I'm like, okay, first question, why 2? Yeah, why 2 mouse pads? And he's like, well, if I feel mean, I put the Klingon on. And if I feel all cutesy and shit, I put the Lower Decks on. And I'm like,
I love it.
That answers the second question. But see the guy saying, if I feel all cutesy and shit, I put this on.
I love it.
Adorable. And
I love that. I love that. That's what it makes you feel like. Because I know, like, so I always come to your booth at the end of the con. Like that's that's when I can finish. That's when we close down our table. So I always come over to your place. I either look around and I forgot who was with me. Oh, me and Derek. So me and Derek, I tell Derek, come with me. I want to show you something. And he goes over there. He goes, why did you show this to me early? I said, you don't want to know earlier. I'm telling you, this is the best time. So we're just like that guy. I have 3 mouse pads. So I only use one, the Defiant one, but I do have the Klingon one, and I have what else do I have? I have a DS9 one, the other DS9 one. So yeah,
Galcas one.
Yes,
the Defiant one. Like I saw that, I was like, oh my heart.
Yeah, that's what I have here. The Defiant blueprints.
DS9, Deep Space Nine is for me very special. It's Deep Space. While First Contact is my favorite movie,
correct answer.
Deep Space Nine absolutely my favorite show.
Yeah, okay, one of us. Yes. This is a Niners podcast, baby.
Yeah, baby.
No mistake.
No mistake. Niners is the correct answer. Yes.
Right. All the time.
I don't even know how often I've seen it. It's for me. It's I don't know. It checks all the marks.
Yep.
It's
yeah. Another correct answer. Yes.
Yeah.
And I love the meme. I love the meme where you see the different captains, where Janeway says, I'm an admiral. And then another one says, oh, and I'm this. And Cisco like, oh, that's cute.
I know, right?
So I'm a prophet. Love them. Yes. I want to show, if I want to go and show some of your stuff.
Please do.
Let's maybe you can tell us about the things that we're seeing.
So that's we call it the Borg Microcube Mark III, and that's basically a reincarnation of our very first one, the Borg Microcube, which was a small microcomputer measuring 6 by 6 by 6 inches. And this is the third iteration of it, and this one is a little bit bigger. It's 7.5 inches cubed. And it's basically just a small computer for everyday use. Doesn't have an external graphics card, a dedicated graphics card. So this is mostly for web browsing, super light gaming, office work, email checking, something like that.
That's the one for me.
Baby Borgy Bear. DC, come here.
Little baby Borg.
Whoa.
Picard Cube. Yeah.
Wow.
Our absolute bestseller, and definitely not my favorite Borg Cube. But Picard Cube, there's a very, very cool story how we came to do this actually. 2019 Comic-Con. And we were there for something completely different. We had a booth at the Lucas Pavilion for a Death Star computer that we were supposed to build. And I was at a party, at an after party, and I was meeting Veronica Hart from CBS again there. And we were having drinks together, and she was asking me if I saw the trailer, the teaser trailer for Star Trek Picard. And I said, no, I have not seen it. I've been at the booth all day. And she picks up my phone. She shows me that trailer, and I see that Borg cube in that shot. And I'm immediately like, oh my God, can I have it? Can I have it? And she's like, yeah, it's absolutely yours. We already we drafted everything up. The license is yours.
Wow.
Under one condition, you need to have a prototype ready at the Star Trek convention in Las Vegas, which was a week later.
It's a week later.
It's a week later. And I basically drove home like a maniac on Monday, had almost no sleep for 3 days. And we made the prototype out of stitched together panels we had from the Borg Microcube and some 3D printed parts. Got it approved by them during the week and had the prototype at the show.
Wow.
And from then on, we basically made a couple of changes and few additions. But yeah, that's basically our Picard cube.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
That is cool. That's cool.
That's the same.
It's the same, just different
No,
lights.
that's actually the first anniversary edition. And the difference here is it commemorates the first year of Star Trek Picard and comes with a special engraved backplate. And instead of silver accent painting, it has gold accent painting.
Okay.
And it gives it a really, really nice touch. It's super pretty.
There's a question in the chat. Is this a PC?
Yes.
They're all PCs, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, Mac and Apple. Sorry, and Apple, but Apple people.
So we actually have a customer, and this was super funny. She came to our booth a couple of times, and she bought one of our warp core PCs. Yeah, the Geek machine with the small warp core inside.
Yeah.
And what tickles me most is she works at Apple.
At the Genius Bar, then.
She works at Apple, and she has one of our Borg cubes.
Oh boy,
the heart wants what the heart wants.
Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, so let's see what else we got here. What's next? Oh, so that's
the bottom of the Picard cube.
That's the bottom. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, cool. 6 fans.
That's my favorite.
Look at that thing.
That's my favorite.
Wow. Oh my God.
And the Fusion Cube never appeared in any show. It appeared in Star Trek Armada, Star Trek Armada 2. In, when was this? 2000, I think. And it basically is nothing else than a Borg cube that's comprised out of 8 cubes that are stuck together.
Okay.
And the reason why we made this is a little bit has a little bit of different background. So in the late 80s, there was a company called Connection Machines and Thinking Machines. Sorry, the company was called Thinking Machines, and they made supercomputers like Cray. And their model back then was called the Connection Machine 2, and it looked exactly like this. Wow. And there's one at the Computer History Museum in Mountain View, and the only thing it's not dressed up like a Borg cube; it's flat, but it looks exactly like this, and it's 3.5 feet tall. It's
oh my gosh!
And I was standing in front of that thing, and I'm like, oh my god, this would be a perfect Borg cube.
Yeah.
And when I showed this to a friend of mine, he actually said there was a Borg cube like this in Star Trek Armada.
Wow.
And you need to ask them if they let you do this. And I contacted CBS and, well, actually Viacom, Paramount, after the merger.
Whichever it was.
Whatever.
Yeah. They change things so often.
Right?
They basically told me they don't know who owns the rights for this. And it took them 2 months to figure out if we can do it or not, because it was made by Activision. It was designed by Activision, but under the CBS helm. So eventually they granted us the license for that, and this is my favorite thing.
Yeah, I just love the way it looks.
Yeah,
it's fear in my heart as soon as I saw
that.
I was like, oh, whoa!
Oh, it's menacing. It's absolutely menacing. And when you see this on a desk, because it's also big, it's really big. It's 18 inches cube. It's when this is on a desk and when it's lit up properly, it's. Yeah,
you will never lose a pen again. Nobody coming to your desk to borrow anything.
Right. I love these. They're very. What
are these?
These are our Geek machines. So the Geek machine case. So when we started this, the big hard cubes and fusion cubes and all these handmade cubes, they are relatively expensive when it comes to computer cases. We live in times where computer cases, cheap ones, start at $30-$40, and they go up to $200, $300 if they're really special. And of course, there are some that are really expensive, and ours can go up, depending on how you dress them up to $650. And we always needed a case that is themed, that is Star Trek themed, but also affordable. That people who, point one, do not want to have a Borg cube, but want to have something Star Trek themed. That's why we came up with the Geek machines. And they are basically standard computer cases with 2 glass panels, and the graphics, we call them the face plates, they are interchangeable. And we have about, on the website, we only have 3 sets, but in total, we have, I think, almost 30 different face plates.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Because what you're looking at here is Lower Decks, I think
LCARs.
Discovery, L-Cars, and what is this?
And
just
TNG?
Yeah. I guess that's
and these are different views of them.
Yeah. It's just different parts. I love the way they light up.
Yeah, me too. Those are awesome.
And you also do the other franchise.
Your mama likes Star Wars.
I love that. I use that picture. I love that picture. And I love that you do Star Wars. You said something about a Death Star. I do not have a picture of a Death Star, but if I did, I would have it up.
Oh my God.
Because we stopped. So the Death Star was an idea. It was a prototype, but it's when it comes to Star Wars, and I do understand why, but Disney is very, very protective of that brand, and they are super picky when you make things. And when we started the Death Star, it was pre-COVID, and when we were right in the development, COVID hit, and we paused development. We even paused our Star Wars contract, and we just renewed it 1.5 years ago or so. The problem with the Death Star is because so many years went by, the Death Star was designed for a different computer generation. And components back then were colder. They ran way cooler. Certain parts were smaller. Now we're dealing with things that are running incredibly hot. And graphics cards are now gigantic. There are graphics cards that are so incredibly heavy and large that you don't fit them in standard cases anymore. And we had to rethink this. We had to be, okay, either we completely scrap that project or we start from scratch. And it was a hassle. It was a hassle. The Death Star was a hassle. It was a cool idea. It was basically the sphere, and the computer was in the sphere. And then it was standing on the base, and the graphics card and power supply was in the base. But it's a nightmare to build. I mean, putting a computer in the sphere is what shape on the planet.
There's a question in the chat. But are there plans to make wireless keyboards and mice in the future?
Yes.
Yay!
Yes, there is.
Another correct
Most
answer.
definitely. So with
You're 5 for 5, baby.
With 2026, we are getting new IPs, so we can do more shows because we don't have a blank license for everything Star Trek. We only have certain shows, and we're getting more shows now. They expanded our products that we are allowed to do. And while we are allowed to do keyboards for years now, the problem is when you do products like this. So we are, just a little bit background, we are a super small team. Yeah, we're not Hasbro or any other big company like this. We are literally a team that comprises out of a couple of people that like to build cool shit. And when you make keyboards, it's actually extremely expensive because you cannot make just 20 keyboards and be like, yay. You have literally to buy at least 1,000 to 5,000 keyboards. Yeah. And the thing is, the keyboards there, we started off with the next generation keyboard, which was a super fun, cheap little office keyboard that just had a few gags on there, and people liked it. Then we did the Klingon keyboard, and we do one at a time. Yeah, so basically when we see, okay, that is a success. Example, gamers like mechanical keyboards, the clicky ones.
Yes.
The problem is, in the manufacturing, these are 10 to 15 times more expensive than the other keyboards. And now when you have to buy 1,000 or 2,000 or 5,000,
that's a big
you're
investment.
talking about a gigantic investment.
Wow.
And
you got to be sure that's going to sell.
Yeah. But the next step is definitely going to be wireless.
Okay,
cool. That's really good. I love it. I will be spending more money this. I will be at your booth this year at Vegas. I just want I wanted to ask you a question. So you came on, you're here, you want people to know more about the company. Tell us why we should buy from you. Tell people what's so great about your company.
I think one of the things that sets us apart is, of course, we have to survive. Yeah, but we're not doing this for the money. I know this sounds stupid and cliche, but we are doing this because all of us have an absolute deeply rooted love for sci-fi and technology. And we just took the plunge and said, we want to do a business out of this. We want to create something that nobody else does. And the fact is, we are the only officially licensed Star Trek computers in the whole universe. There is no other company that does this. And the same goes for the keyboard, for the mice. Yeah. Besides all of this, we're a small business. We're not a big company. We're not HP. We're not Microsoft. Yeah. We are literally a small company that finances everything that we do in this company is financed out of pocket. Yeah. The gentleman the friend of mine who actually encouraged me to do this, he's very deep rooted in the movie industry, and our company. I used to have a different company before that, and we did a lot of custom technology. Yeah, we did specialized construction, we did custom technology, and for since 2012, actually, we work for this guy. Yeah. And when I had the idea for this company and when he encouraged me to do it, I had a conversation with my wife and I said to her, okay, I want to do this. And we have two ways of doing this. Either we see if we find outside investors or whatever, or we, from every bill that we write him, we only take for us what we need, our basic needs to survive, and the rest we pump every month into this company. And my wife immediately said, if you want to do this, let's do this. And so we took every month, just to pay our house, to pay our cars, to pay our food, to pay food for our animals, and the rest went straight into that company. And we had a time where we actually actively were looking for investors. And I remember this one meeting where we were sitting and we were looking for not even that crazy amount. We were looking for $2 million, which is for a company not a lot of money.
It's nothing.
It sounds like a lot, but when you try
it's
to
not.
it's not that. So and these guys kept stringing us along, and they always said, well, maybe if you shoestring it for another year. So we've been shoestringing it until into COVID. Yeah. And after we survived COVID, we actually figured out we don't need to shoestring this because it's a slow growth. Yeah. But we are still here.
Yeah.
I don't want to turn this into an evening with Liza Minnelli, but we're still here. You know what I mean? After all of this, the company is now almost 10 years old.
Wow.
And it's with every hit that we got, and COVID was definitely the biggest one, but we are still around and we keep making new stuff, and we're gonna get there. We're gonna be the size that we want to be.
I mean, I feel like, I love when I started reading about you guys. I fell in love with you then, because just reading on the website, you're us. you just have the skill that you're bringing to your fandom. Like you found a way to express your fandom, um, that's uniquely suited to you. But it's the same thing that a lot of us out here do in our fandom. We dress up and do cosplay and we express our fandom that way. We pick up a microphone and we do a podcast, or we all have these different ways of shouting out our love of science fiction, particularly Star Trek. Thank you very much. And other franchises and others, but we all have these ways that we find out, like, I really want to shout out, like, loud and proud, this is my jam.
That's right.
I'm a geek and I don't hide it,
Absolutely.
I did see a
question.
A question.
Here it is, right here.
Yeah. Are the CPUs and the board cubes integrated or scalable?
Scalable. So the thing is, the small ones, the Borg microcubes, those are integrated, but the GPUs in the big ones, in the Borg cubes, in the Picard cube, in the regular ATX cube, just normal graphics cards, and you can exchange them with anything you like. And there's enough room for big ones even.
Nice.
That's awesome. So, are you like a hardcore gamer yourself? Or
I'm not. I'm absolutely not. This is actually the fun part. I'm the only one in the company who does not game.
Oh.
It's
I love it.
I have always. I have these little builds that these little computer builds that I always build, and then I'm super proud of them. And I bring them home, and I'm like, I gotta start gaming something. And I recently we made a project for YouTube, which we don't have uploaded yet. Do you guys ever heard of the Next Cube? The Next Cube was when Steve Jobs got fired from Apple, when he got ousted from Apple, he formed a company called Next. And Next made these things here. I can show you. They made these things here.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've seen those.
They didn't look like this back then.
Okay.
Yeah? So I always absolutely loved the Next Cube, and I found an empty one online, and I immediately bought it. And I said, I want to put a gaming PC in that. And we made a whole YouTube video around this where we completely redesigned it, water cooling, the whole 9 yards. And I'm like, this is mine. I'll bring it home. And I put it on my desk. I have it, as you see, right here, and I never use it. It's like literally I have this awesome gaming machine.
It's just beautiful. It's just pretty.
It's pretty, and it's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what's your word? It's glorious.
Glorious. Yes.
I love that. What is this? Oh, people! The chat is doing its own thing.
Yeah. I think calling on the Next Cube really took.
Everybody's talking about the Next Cube.
Mm-hmm.
They remember.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
The turnaround. What's the normal turnaround time? Somebody goes onto the website and orders something like that's standard, not a custom build.
So this completely depends on the machine. If it is, let's say, the Geek machines, the standard ones, just the case ships within a day or two. If it's a PC, a fully built PC, depending on the workload, it can take between 3 and 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Picard cubes and Fusion cubes are all built to order. They're all built to order, and it takes roughly 3 to 4 weeks to get them out. We had a couple of instances over the years where we got swamped with orders where it took up to 3 to 4 months actually for people to get their cubes. And but we usually make it up to them in some way or the other. But the thing is, the Picard cubes, and this is something I'm exceptionally proud of, everything on the Picard cube except the fans, because the fans you cannot source from the US. But everything on the Picard cube is made in the US.
Oh, wow.
The panels on the Picard cubes and the Fusion cubes, they are injection molded. They are made by a company in Michigan, I think. I think it's Michigan.
Okay.
Yeah. The steel parts come from the East Coast. The aluminum parts come from Washington, and everything is assembled in California at our shop.
Wow.
And they're completely made in the US. And that's something I always wanted to do this. And it costs a little bit more, but you all need. The problem is, could I offer them cheaper? Yes, I could, but I would need to order again 5,000 to 10,000 pieces from China.
Sure.
Right.
This is risky. It completely loses its, what's the term I'm looking for? Individuality.
Okay.
Because every Picard cube is hand painted.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
All
Wow.
the details are hand painted. All the fiber optics that you have there, the little lights, they are all drilled and inserted by hand, which means every single one, is different.
Wow.
And it simply adds, and you can have a custom engraving on the back. And we try to make this as personal as possible. It's called personal computer for a reason.
Right.
Yeah, I love that. Oh wow.
Oh,
That's
man.
cool.
Okay, you just won all the rest of the correct
You
answers.
did.
Right.
You get
Right.
100.
So I wanted to ask you, as a Mac user, what in your store? Because I want to buy something, so all the Mac users want to know. So what can I buy in your store for a Mac user?
A mug.
A mug.
No.
I mean, I'm a Mac user. I have stuff here, so I'm just
Shots
getting you
fired.
No.
Oh,
That was a
mug.
joke.
Wow.
So the Klingon keyboards work on
I'm
Mac.
glad you got your 100 before you said that one, boy. Wow.
Next generation keyboard works on Mac. The mice work on Macs, of course.
The iMug.
iMug. Well, the mug is out
the
of
normal
stock.
one.
It
Yes,
sure
it is.
is.
Yes, it is.
So
It's
no
coming
mug.
back.
But
in
there's
time
two
for the
different types of
convention.
mugs. Okay. Oh, coming back in time for the
Yeah,
convention?
the mugs are currently manufactured, and they are coming back in time for the convention.
Great.
Okay.
Yay.
We
Okay,
got
cool.
so with the mugs. We got so. The story about the mugs is actually something funny. Believe it or not, I didn't make these mugs for sale. Yeah, so years back, and I'm talking about over 20 years back. There was a company in Germany who made these mugs licensed. Yeah, and they had a Quark Spar logo on it, and I had, I think, 6 of them. Yeah, when I was still in Austria, and with all the moving around, I lost all of them. Some got broken. I lost all of them, and you cannot get these anymore. And the mugs themselves, the original mugs, they were never designed for Star Trek. They were never designed for Deep Space Nine. They were made by a company called Feldman Langer, and they were called the no spill mugs, and they made them for boats. And they were in white or in black, and they had this little maritime things on them, like little boat steering wheels and flags and all this weird stuff. And the prop master from DS9, he basically bought those mugs and just painted them blue. And those were those mugs. And I got so fed up over the years that I could not get these mugs until I found a guy on Etsy who buys these mugs, paints them or glazes them or whatever you say blue, and then sells them for $300. And I'm like, I bought one of these because I wanted to have it, and it was white inside, so it wasn't even original.
Wow!
And I look at this and I'm like, okay, what's the next step here? Because I want this mug. I want it. I don't care if people want it. I want it.
Right.
So
exactly.
For shits and giggles, I call my person at Paramount and I asked them, can I do this? And they were like, no. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's rude. Why? No.
Why?
They basically hung up on me. And I'm like, I never had this. In all the years we're doing this, I never had them be like this. So I emailed them, why can't I do this mug? And they were like, no, you can't. And I'm like, okay, there's something deeper to this.
Yeah.
So I'm getting lawyers involved. Yeah, so I'm getting patent lawyers involved. Turns out the guys from Feldman Langer, which are not around anymore, had a design patent which expired in 1999, which means that thing is completely free for all.
For everybody,
So my lawyer told me, as long as you don't write Star Trek because Star Trek is a trademark, you can do with it whatever you want. And
awesome.
I'm like, I want this mug. I find a manufacturer, I made these mugs, and I made these mugs for me.
Right.
Not for anybody else, and for us at the office. And then somebody said, you know what, we have so many now, because again, I had to order a certain amount of it.
Right.
Yeah, we had boxes of mugs. And I'm like, well, we can give it away or whatnot. And then somebody said, no, put them on the website for $30. And I'm like, nobody's gonna buy these. All of a sudden, I'm getting these Shopify notifications on my phone, like ging, ging.
Wait,
ging,
I'm sorry, Martin. Says the man. Nobody's going to buy these. Says the man who spent $300
to get
who is
who defied CBS, wanted to know, like, not one no, not two no's. He's like, well, I'm gonna figure this out.
Brought in lawyers. A diehard fan. Like, have you met us?
Have you met me?
That's hilarious.
So we sold out within a couple of weeks, basically, and it takes roughly 60 to 70 days to make them, and then another 30 days on the ship till they get here. And we completely underestimated this, and that's why they're out of stock right now.
Okay. So now everybody's they don't even want an iMug.
You said
now that we know the backstory,
right? In time for Vegas, baby. In time for Vegas, we all be like. All you Apple lovers out there, get your mug money ready.
Yeah, there might be a firefight.
That's what you got to put under it, Martin, for Mac users.
Right.
We used to have a Mac Mini retrofit. We used to have this. This was a little board cube where we fit a Mac Mini in it, and it was super cool. We had it 2019 at the convention, I think.
And 25? 2025.
So the problem with this was when we were done with this, when we had figured out how to make it, Apple came out with a new Mac Mini, and
they'll do it.
And it was
they'll do it. Yeah, they'll do it to you every time. Yep. Every single time.
Get me started with them.
And we tried. We tried. We looked at things that that Apple makes that could fit in a board cube, but it's extremely tricky. It's really tricky because Mac is expensive as it is, and when you add at a certain point, I mean, I do understand what people say when they're super hardcore fans, but it's also. And you always need to keep this in mind as a business. It's still just a computer. You know what I mean? At the moment you put all this into development and then you add this extremely expensive hardware from an Apple and put it together, it becomes kind of unreasonable, unfortunately.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense.
And Apple is also very, very picky when it comes to when you do things like this. They can be really nasty.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Martin, I'm interested really quickly because I know we're running down on time, but I'm interested in your Star Trek journey and like your geek journey, like your sci-fi journey. How did this begin for you?
Well, my God. I'll show you where it began.
Oh,
I love it. Show and tell.
That was such a Steve Jobs pause. My God. Oh!
Remember that show from the 70s?
Yes.
So I forgot actually what it's called in English. In German, it was translated called Moonbase
Alpha, baby. Yes. That was Moonbase Alpha because it's on my wall.
And when I grew up, when I was a kid, that thing came, of course, to Austria super. Yes, it came, of course, to Austria super late. Yeah, but that was where I got my first taste of sci-fi, and Star Trek, I think this developed over time. I never thought about this that much in detail. So for me, favorite sci-fi shows of all time, and I'm actually currently rewatching it, is Babylon 5.
Yes.
Absolutely love Babylon 5. Then, of course, Stargate.
Yeah.
Huge Stargate fan. We made a super cool prototype about a Stargate computer with a Stargate computer. Super nice.
My
Super
brother
nice.
would want that.
So yeah, honestly, it's been so many years. I mean, it's to really tell where it all started. I don't know. Star Trek came, and this is quite interesting. Star Trek came always into my life. It came always into my life, and this is a little bit difficult to explain. So from I moved from Austria to Germany, and then from Germany to the United States, and I had a time where there were people involved that used to work on Star Trek. I had a time where I didn't want to have anything to do with Star Trek, and this had a lot of personal reasons, and I was literally like, I got so disappointed from a few people that I was like, I do not want to have anything to do with this or with people that worked on this. I'm done. I'm effing done, because there was a lot of personal hurt involved. And in 2012, so when my wife and I moved to the United States, we came here with this one product idea that we had. Something completely different than computers, and it was actually something revolutionary, but it had to do with leaking swimming pools, and how you can fix leaking swimming pools without draining them. And we had a patent application for it, and we had and a friend of mine, he actually back then told me, you have to bring this to the United States because every pool is leaking in California. And we were like, yeah, let's do that. We sold everything, we moved here. And then I figured out, yes, every pool in California is leaking. That's true. But what's also true is that nobody gives a shit.
Nope.
There's water running to the ground, and I'm like, who cares? Yeah, that was in 2009. So we ran out of money. Yeah, we ran completely dry. And because our product had to do with the pool industry, a friend of mine told me, he said, I know this is not up your alley, but you need money to survive. Why don't you guys clean pools for me? And we literally cleaned swimming pools for, I think, 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah, like every day. We have pictures where we drained the nastiest pools, did acid washes, the whole 9 yards. One day the guy calls me and says, I have a new pool account. He needs so many repairs. Do you want to take care of this? And I'm like, why don't you want it? And he's like, he has the steep driveway, and I don't know, I don't like the property. And I'm like, okay, give it to me. Yeah. Right. So I'm getting my first check from that guy, and that guy is actually the friend of mine now that told me you have to do this and so on. And what I always did, because we did a few minor celebrity jobs here and there, and you Google the name. You know what my favorite check is that I have? Right. I have a canceled check from Ava DuVernay. I met her when she was still living in Studio City, when she was completely broke, and one of her check bounced. Yeah. Oh no! And I still have the bounced check. Wow. And it says Pool Magic. It's and one of the best people I ever met in my whole life. Yeah, I absolutely love her. But anyway, we Google the names all the time. Yeah, and I'm getting this check from that guy with that awesome property, and I Google the name, and I'm sitting in my living room, and I'm literally like, fuck. Like, what? And I'm like, Google the name. Yeah, and he's again a Star Trek person.
Wow. Wow.
And, it's I'm okay. It comes back, and since then I was like, I'm not letting go of this.
Yeah.
I'm not letting go of this because there's a reason why Trek always shows up in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know this sounds corny, but this is literally how it is. It always shows up and
always gets back to Star Trek.
It always comes back to Star Trek.
It does. It actually does. It really does.
We believe it. We totally believe. We see it every day. Everything we do. It always comes back to Star Trek.
And you will, and we literally say it every time we're on this show, or any other show. Like we could be interviewing. We were interviewing a baseball legend's daughter, and it was like it always comes back to Star Trek. Right back to Star Trek.
Yep.
And
she was like, "What? You guys do Star Trek? Why do you want me on?" He goes, "Oh, come with us. let me show you why baseball is important to us." It's just perfect.
The best episodes ever. Baseball.
Baseball.
Still see Kira saying hot dogs.
I gotta watch that now.
I think a lot of people out there are absolutely identifying with the fact that it always comes back to Star Trek, and that was that's really cool. Thank you for sharing all that with us, because that's even makes the product even more special. There's a real personal connection and story to what you're doing now.
So one thing, and this especially when we started with the Picard cubes, I had to give up social media control. Because at the beginning I had all the apps on my phone, and I saw comments and so on. And the thing is, social media is extremely toxic. It's a horrible place down the line. And the thing is, the computer scene, the PC, the gaming scene, there are only a few more scenes that are actually more toxic. And the people can bash a product or people without ever even seen it.
Yes.
Yeah. And when we started with the Picard series, the comments we got on the ads, they were plainly hurtful. They were flat out hurtful, and I take every product that we make extremely serious, extremely personal.
Right.
Every product that leaves our facility is personal to me. And if something breaks during shipping, it's bad, and we make it. We make it right. One thing, and I think this is super fascinating for a company. We're doing this since 9 years. We had over the years, I think 4 returns where people didn't like it, and 2 of them were Geek machines. Of all the products we sold.
Of all the products, wow.
Yeah, and we had, of course, a few orders that got canceled because either people didn't want to wait too long, but basically that people said, "Oh no, I want to ship it back." From the whole Picard series of board cubes, it was only 2.
Wow.
And one of them.
Yeah.
Can I tell the story real quick?
Sure.
It was one of our first Picard cubes, and I remember the guy like this was yesterday, because I think the FedEx driver that goes to his place hates him. We sent the guy 4 computers, and every time they got there, they got destroyed. So we switch from FedEx to UPS. The machine gets there completely intact. All is good. He calls us, and I think he was like 30, 35 years old, and you hear his mother yelling in the background, "Why do you need such an expensive piece of trash? You don't need this. You don't need this. Give it back. Give it back." I have the guy on the phone, and he's like, "Do you hear this? I have to give it back." And I'm like, "Don't worry, just send it back."
Oh my God.
Oh.
Your mama watches Star Wars.
You should have sent him the shirt instead.
And it wasn't even because he didn't like it. It was because his mom told him to send it back.
Oh my God.
After all that time.
Right, after 4 attempts and broken machines.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
my
wow.
God.
Martin, I know San Diego is coming up in 2 weeks. What's gonna happen? Do you have anything you want to tell us that's gonna happen for all the people that are gonna be at Comic-Con?
We're not there. We're not at Comic-Con.
You're not at Comic-Con.
No.
Only Vegas.
We're gonna be maybe. The thing is, we were back then in 2019. We were at the Lucas Pavilion, and the sun hits. It's really bad. We were at the Lucas Pavilion with Star Wars, and we were technically not on the waiting list. And Comic-Con has when it comes to vendors, a very weird thing. You have every year you have to apply.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we're applying now. This year is gonna be the 5th or 6th time. And they literally last week they sent us an email. Oh, we could get you your booth right now because somebody canceled. And I told them, guys, I need to plan this.
That's crazy.
I'm sorry. I cannot pull that inventory out of nowhere.
Right.
I simply don't have it. Yeah. And on top of that, Star Trek Las Vegas is more important for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I might not make that much. We might not sell that much there, but as we would at Comic-Con. But it is more important because these are our people.
Right.
Star Trek Las Vegas are our people. This is our audience. This is we love those people. A lot of our customers there, and it's
we feel the same way. We feel the same way. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's gonna be one day longer this year.
Yes,
I know.
And longer for us as vendors. Yes. So hopefully we get to see you. At STLV and we hang out a little bit. So thanks for coming. We appreciate that. Right?
Yes, thank you so much for coming and spending time and letting us get to know you and letting our folks get to know you. Like, I mean, the man behind the products. Like, the products are amazing. So I mean, even like, I'm not a gamer. I don't really need a gaming PC. I don't need a PC that part. The fact that you guys have the little mini one, that's so mine. It is so mine.
I will be getting that.
Yeah, and then I love I also really quickly, I love the little keyboard cap things for the
keycaps. Yeah,
the keycaps. Yeah. Those are cute. Okay,
for the lower decks.
Yeah,
those are cool.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, I want to say, Martin, thank you so much for joining us. Everybody, thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with us tonight. Mine too, Draco Don. Mine too. You guys are wonderful. We love you guys. And before we go, I just want to say that if you're new here, or even if you're not, and you're interested if you're new here, definitely please remember to like and subscribe. Ring the bell so you'll never miss a moment of our feel-good blurty fun. Okay, kids? But also, if you want to get your brand in front of our loyal and passionate and incredibly smart audience, please consider sponsoring the live show. So whether you're a small business or an individual, you can be part of our vibrant community that loves to support the brands that they believe in. So click on the link in the show description or go to sci-fi-sisters.com/sponsors to learn more. And Yvette,
yes,
you want to let people know what's coming up?
Sure. So this week, unfortunately, there will be no Sin tomorrow. And there will be no new podcasts on Friday. But next week, we will have Tony Kim here from Hero Within Apparel. He'll be here for the live show. Sabrina. 2 Moons. Right. 2 Moons
got
on
a black
Wednesday.
And gray I want.
Right. 2 Moons is back next Wednesday. 2 Moons and a microphone. And next Friday, July 17th, is the premiere of season 3 of Foundation. So please watch that, Apple TV. For the Sci-Fi Sisters, the next podcast episode will be, we had a press junket recently with all the cast members of Foundation. So our next podcast will have those interviews. But for our Patreon members, you will get an exclusive special surprise from that. So go to patreon.com/SyFy Sistas to find out more. One more thing. I'd like to thank everybody. Our last show, we talked about the Defiant, the Robert Small story. I want to thank you guys because this happened.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Sold out, baby. Woo-hoo!
Yes,
you guys are
and
awesome.
bestseller on the #1 bestseller list. So I want to thank you guys. You always come through. It was something that was near and dear to our hearts. So yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, and thanks everybody. Martin, thanks again. Sisters, I love you. Everybody out there in the family, we love you guys too. And peace, love, and hair grease. We're out of here.
Bye.